The Shallows, a perfect movie for Shark Week? Yes. Is it as good as Jaws? Well, that's what we're gonna talk about in our review. The Shallows is a thriller starring Blake Lively, a shark, and a seagull. Blake Lively plays Nancy. She has a couple of personal issues in her life, but she's also a surfer, and when she's surfing, she gets stranded on a rock because there's a great white shark in the shallows surrounding her, encircling her rock, with land only a mere 200 feet away. And now we get a contained, small, really short and breezy action thriller. Now, going into this movie, I said to myself, if this is a good shark movie, unlike Deep Blue Sea and the sequels to Jaws and those god-awful Sharknado movies, so I can celebrate Shark Week in a good way after watching Jaws, I'm happy. For the most part, it's a pretty fun movie. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, that Blake Lively killed it in this movie. Kudos to her. I felt like she was kind of one of those actresses that Hollywood was going to try and shove down our throats, but we haven't really seen much of Blake Lively at all, so she's actually a really good actress. If you've seen The Town, if you've seen Savages, the ending, but she's really good in that, and she's really good in The Town. She was really good in this. I've seen a lot of complaints for Blake Lively's performance in this movie because a lot of it just goes like, but it's like people don't realize that she's in a situation that she has no control over. She's got bitten by a shark. She has a couple of flesh wounds. She's got to patch them up. She keeps getting hit, and like she's assessing her situations, and it's just like, yeah, she kind of has to do that stuff. You know, she has to say ooh and ah and all that. It's like, wouldn't you if you were being attacked by a great white shark? Plus, we get this. Not bad. For the most part, the scenes where she's assessing her situation are realistic, and the shark attack is realistic. You know, the scenes where the shark tries to, like, bite her when she's on land, tries to attack her while she's on land, she's assessing her situation, she's like, I have a certain amount of time to get from here to here. Those were all really well done, and I'm just glad the shark actually looked real, and not like some fucking stupid piece of shit CGI shark. It was CGI, but it didn't look bad. It looked real. Thank God. Shark attack scenes, too, were intense. It's like one scene, you know, the shark's popping up. It made me jump, because it kind of got me. I tried to pinpoint when it was going to pop up, and it popped up a split second after I thought. There's just one scene where it just leaps out of the water and eats a guy. It's not really a spoiler. I was just like, Deep Blue Sea just happened. It was either that or the thing from Jurassic World, where the thing comes up from the water and it's just like, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I thought Blake Lively gave a really good performance. The situation was realistic. I thought the shark looked real, even though it wasn't. It was CGI, but it looked real. Blake Lively gave a really good performance. It was a realistic tale. However, there were a lot of elements of this film where I was just like, it's not sitting well with me. Now, this film has a real love for slow-mo, and slow-mo to me is the most overdone, cliched thing ever in the history of film. To me, the first time cinema was really introduced to slow-mo effect was The Matrix. It might have happened before that, but I feel like The Matrix was like the one that made like slow-mo prominent. After The Matrix, I feel like there was like a period there where a lot of films just didn't use slow-mo. They're like, well, that's kind of new, I think back then everybody was just like, it's kind of a Matrix thing, let's not use it in our films. And then 300 came out in 2006. Zack Snyder used a lot of slow-mo. After that, slow-mo was all over the place, and I was just like, dude, stop with the slow-mo! It hasn't been here for a few years, slow-mo, at least, and this film brought it back, and it just brought it back in a way that kind of made it as realistic as the shark attacks were. It just made the shark attacks little less intense, and you knew you were watching a movie. You didn't feel like you were there with Blake Lively on the rock, 200 yards away from your feet, whatever the hell it is, away from shore. You were just like, now there's a slow-mo shot, I'm watching a film now. For me, it kind of took away the feeling of intensity and seclusion and the fact that we weren't watching a film. I felt like, for good parts of this film, I felt like I was there watching Blake Lively call for help, and I was like, I'm here, hello, but then the slow-mo happens, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm watching a film. That's right. Like, if it didn't do that, I think it would have worked better. This film also has a conflicting tone, especially in the middle and the end. There's a lot of pop and dance music, electronic music, and then the whole middle's like the whole like intense, shark stuff. In the beginning and the end, just kind of make it look like it's going to be more of like a happier type of movie, and then you get the middle part, and then it's like, oh, it's this intense shark attack movie, and then the end, and you're like, that's really conflicting, and it didn't work. Like, seeing all that and hearing all that dance and electronic music, I felt like this film was just a hour-and-a-half music video. And there were some elements of the script where I was like, did we even need to know that? For instance, we get a backstory on Blake Lively's character, that she's in medical school, something with her mother, and something about the beach. I was like, none of this is really relevant. You could have just said that she's a surfer, she just likes to surf, she's on vacation, You could have just said that shit. Instead, they had to go into a whole backstory. It's like, oh, medical school, mother, this beach, what's the name of the beach? And that's a question that's never answered. That's a question she keeps bringing up, and it's never answered. I was like, so that's not really a major plot point, then, I guess. Guys, The Shallows is a really entertaining movie, but it's not the next coming of Jaws like people want it to be. It's the director of Unknown, Nonstop, Run All Night, 3 fun as hell Liam Neeson movies. Blake Lively gives a really good performance. It's a realistic portrayal of a situation that a lot of people probably aren't put into, but I thought if that ever happened to somebody, I was like, that's probably what would happen. The shark looked real, the shark attacks were real. My problems with the film really lie in the writing in the script and the creative decisions the director used to convey the message and the story of this movie. There's a lot of unnecessary backstory involving Blake Lively's character. There's a lack of intensity in a lot of scenes thanks to the slow motion, which I fucking hate. There's a really confused and conflicting tone with all the pop music. Kind of makes it look like it's going to be a happy movie. Then you get the whole middle part, and then the end does it again, and it's weird. And the ending, the way she kills the shark is fucking dumb. It's dumb. I'm sorry, it's dumb. I don't think a shark would fall for that, but it's just dumb. But I won't lie when I say I was entertained by The Shallows, so it was a really entertaining shark movie, better than half the shit we're getting now on TV, and definitely worth checking out. So that concludes my review for The Shallows. Have you guys seen The Shallows? We want to know what you think. Drop us a comment in the comment section below. And you can find us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube to go insane with the MadGuyz.